Nothing really to see on this side of the vehicle. Being a European vehicle, it's an offside door, as we would call it, with the awning above and access into the vehicle as well. So we're going to start initially round here. Oh, by the way, your spare wheel is up in underneath, in the frame underneath there. So your hookup point is going in here. That's putting power into the vehicle, charging the leisure battery. We can use 240 electric. In here, we have the delights of the Thetford toilet cassette system. So to remove this, pull up on this lever and withdraw. If you pull and it won't come out, don't force it. There's a lever on the pedestal of the toilet which you've left open, and you wouldn't do that. The reason why you wouldn't do it is if you went over a bumpy road, everything that's in there is going to be in there. And there's no U-bend, as I mentioned before, or water trap. So we want to keep everything in the cassette. So it slides out, it's a unit, it's closed. If I tipped it over, nothing much should happen, but we don't want to do that. As this unit goes in, this slides back. And that seal sits right up underneath, which is basically the bowl of the toilet. Okay?
Okay.
The lever on the pedestal of the toilet engages with this, so as I open it, this opens, the waste drops down into the tank. We shut it back up again after use. Inside the tank is some blue toilet chemical and some water, and when the magic moment comes to take this and empty it, we unscrew, invert, pressing that button, and hopefully everything should come out.
That cap came off, did it? Right,
you unscrew it.
Oh, sorry, right, I'm with you.
And then tip the whole thing up.
Okay.
All right.
Just don't lose the yellow cap.
Don't use it. Then you gently agitate and get as much out as you can. As I said before, it's just ones and twos, very little paper, no other products. Okay, you don't want to have to be chiseling the stuff out.
Okay.
Rinse and empty, no jet wash, no power wash, and flare back up. Then a bit of blue toilet chemical, we've got some for you, I'll show you where it is, a bit of water and you're good to go.
When you say a bit of water, how much are we talking?
Well, what we've got in here, about a cupful, just to sort of activate it, alright? If it's not flushing, there's two reasons. One, generally, you haven't turned maybe the 12 volt on. Two, you've got no water in the system. And three, there's a little purple fuse there, 3 amp fuse. It might be there. You could still use the loo. If you had a jug of water, you could just pour it down the bowl, empty, open the vent and close if you needed to do on there. All of these lockers as we go, mainly this one, we can just lock so people don't take the proverbial.
Very good.
Click. So we've got storage that goes all the way through underneath here, this being this double floor system. So you can put maybe some deck chairs and bits and bobs in, and then we can just click, and we're locked. This is the flue for venting the heat gas, okay? So maybe at night don't have this window open in case you're going to draw fumes in. Just be careful there.
I see, yeah.
Exhaust pipe, little locker above as I described in the little slip I did. That clicks home. We've got a green tap here, which if I swing it will drain the fresh water.
Right.
A black tap, which if I do that will drain all the water that went down the sink, and I ran some earlier because I purged the system through. So that's grey water with the black tap, fresh water with the green tap.
Okay, brilliant.
I can also flip this lever up and that will help to drain part of the system as well. So if we open all of those and leave them open, and then when we're replenishing we'll shut them all off. Gosh, that is a stiff new catch.
So that's why when you're driving along, sometimes you see people dribbling.
If you've got a little dribble like that, that's not a big problem. But if it's gushing out, not nice, you shouldn't do that. Not on the campsite.
No. But you closed those again, haven't you?
Yes.
You had closed them.
I've just left the grey water one open just to drain off the last bits there. There's actually a cap that you can put over it if you needed to, but I'm just leaving that for the last of it to drain down.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So you drive over something with both of those, don't you?
Yeah. This one is the smaller key for this. So twist, in goes your fresh water, hose pipe or watering can, turn, and then it just spins.
Yes, okay.
Gas locker, again, new catches on here. The two tanks are basically static, so they stay in there, but we replenish the tanks from this filler point. So if you've ever used an LPG gas system, it's like an outsized diesel or petrol pump.
Right.
Great big nozzle. If you look down the end of it, you'll see it's round and it's got two cutouts, if you will. If you look down there, the male part has got two pins sticking out.
Yeah.
So the idea is you fit the nozzle on and there's a knurled end piece you turn which basically locks onto.
Right.
You open the trigger and there's a clicker to hold the trigger open on the pump. The pump itself, there's a big display and a button. You press the button which resets the display, wakes the man up in the shop who sets the gas running, and you hold as it dispenses and you'll see it counting and counting. It's about 65p a litre, so it's a lot cheaper than diesel and petrol.
Okay.
When it finishes, and the tanks are closed by the way, you don't need to open them, it'll fill, the counter will stop, so you take your hand away. When you release the trigger, you will get a sharp blowback of gas. It's a bit smelly, it's very cold, so just mind yourself. Undo, put the nozzle back, pop the little cap back on, go and pay, and away you go.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So it means that if you're going into Europe, you can replenish anywhere. With British propane gas bottles, you'd have to change the bottles each time, and you can't do that in Europe.
No.
So how do we open these? On the top, we've got these two little wheels. So this one is open. It's anti-clockwise to open and clockwise to close.
Okay.
All right. So we'll leave that one closed. You don't want to drain them both together. And then you turn this. It's got a little pointer on it. Across to that side when that tank is being operated, and this one when this tank is being operated.
So it's not automatic, it's
no, you do it manually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we turn them off at the bottle. There is an additional turn off point downstream of the regulator, but just do these. As long as you turn these off, the only gas in the system is what's left in the pipes.
Gotcha.
All
okay.
right?
Yeah, I'm happy.
There's some information on here. If you're going to go into Europe, you will need adapters.
Aren't they?
Yeah, and you can buy those almost anywhere because the French and German and Spanish ones are all slightly different.
Right.
And they would thread into that male connector with the thread inside it, so they fit on, and then the nozzle fits onto those.
Gotcha. Right. Okay.
Is there anything going on in either of those at the moment?
Yes, there's gas. The gas is open because I've got the heating, and I want to demonstrate how the thing is working.
So there is some in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
They're both full.
Both full. Oh, brilliant.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, this is our key pretty much for everything all the way around. So it's very simple. Open and lock, electric windows. Close the door on this handle, not on these flimsy bits here. I'll do the dashboard layout when we're inside. Yeah. But the bonnet release is underneath. There, that lever there. The other lever is for the steering wheel adjustment.
Right.
Okay. Your handbrake's on the off side, and as I say, we'll do all the other stuff inside.
Okay.
Right, that one.
This is the...
So that's our majority locker key. That was for the water filler key. The round one is for the diesel cap. So twist. In goes your diesel. Make sure you don't mix those up. The tea will taste pretty lousy otherwise. Pop it back on. Turn the key, and then it just spins.
Going back to the water a sec. Sorry, Guy. That's drinking water.
Yep.
So, is there just one filler for water?
Yes.
So the whole system, whether it...
Yeah,
okay.
there's a big water tank. When we operate the taps, it draws water. If we're operating the hot water, it's drawing water into the boiler. The boiler's on, it's heating the water, and then it's coming out of the hot water tap.
Right.
As you're running the hot water though, you're draining it and adding cold water, so you need to really keep turning the hot water on, or leave it on at all times. It'll thermostat out anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Brilliant.
And then the whole thing cantilevers up over the top. That really is about your only maintenance point. That's your water for your windshield wipers.
That's not bad actually, quite close, isn't it?
The dipstick is right down there.
Yeah.
The top up is there. You'd need some sort of funnel.
Yep.
Power steering reservoir, header tank for the radiator, brake fluid right over there, air filter and fuses and relays, and the engine battery is here.
Right.
Most of the service work on these is done from underneath, really.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, and then your 3850 plate on there for the weight of the vehicle.
Yeah. Good.
So when you pull the lever, reach underneath, you'll feel the trigger which is on the side there, but you just have to pull out and over.
Yeah.
Wipers sweep over to the UK side and the water is sprayed directly onto the screen. Okay.
Yes. I like that.
And then a final locker on the side here. Click that one home. We've given you a 10-metre hookup cable.
Oh, lovely.
You can get longer.
Yep.
A home adapter, so a 3-pin socket for the garage or the house. So we pull the cap back, that end goes into there, pull the cap back, and that end goes into the side of the vehicle.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And that's a European...
Oh, what about the lock for the old safe as well? That could have been the other one.
So those two little keys, that's
Yeah.
your little strong
Right.
box there. Okay.
Strong box.
Yes.
Uh,
That isn't a starting handle, but you have things called corner steadies.
Right, yeah. All right.
So basically you wind them down, drop the legs, and the idea is, let's wind it back up again, it's quite difficult to get to under the sill. It would give you a little bit more stability park on a slope, but you can buy levelling blocks that you drive up because you want to be as level as possible.
Yeah.
If you're at a wild angle, you'll find the fridge may not operate.
Yeah.
Jack and wheel brace is in the pack here.
Okay.
The wheel nuts, you've got some spare ones for the spare wheel. Generally I don't think there's locking wheel nuts on here, is there? No, we've got some spare ones if you need it for the spare wheel.
Yeah, okay.
And that would have been when it had steel wheels, they were the caps to go on. So I think your spare wheel is a steel wheel if you wanted to fit the hubcap thing for it.
Okay.
That's the blue toilet chemical I mentioned about. It's concentrate. It's not an exotic Curacao cocktail. Unscrew, do about 5 or 6 capsules of that with some water, and away you go. Instructions on the side there.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Okay.
And as I said, we won't mix it with any other chemical. You can peel off if you need.
yes.
So directly above us as we come in is our control panel. So we would turn everything on and off at this point. If we're on hookup, then that will light up 230 volts. Okay. So power on, power off. We're on hookup, so that's lit up. Not quite sure what that one. It's a reserve system, I think, for additional batteries, but we'll leave it open. Engine battery strength, battery at the front, leisure battery strength on there. If your battery's getting low, then that light will come on, and basically you'll need to ration your power. That's
the leisure one, you mean?
Yeah. Fresh water and grey water is empty. If you don't want the clock on, you can turn it off there. To adjust it, you'll need a pin or a pen to go forward and back on the minutes. And that apparently is the inside
nice and warm
temperature,
here.
and
lovely,
that's
isn't
the
it?
outside temperature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Everything looks healthy as regards to batteries. They look like they're...
Yep, absolutely. So we're powered up.
Yeah.
The next thing I would do, and you will need a clicker for this, and I've just left mine inside. You haven't got an igniter for these, so you would fire up the gas, which I did earlier, to make sure that from the tanks to here we haven't got an airlock. So, fashion one, we'll go for matches.
Okay. Oh.
So, which one's my gas? Is that one. Boom. Hold until the flame has fully gained, and we're fine. If that gutted out, you restart it, and that's your airlock gone. So that's that burner, that one is that, and that one is that one on there. Okay,
excellent.
So yeah, that's running fine. We're happy with that. We're only going to use the gas for cooking. We're not going to use it to heat the van, because obviously carbon monoxide, we don't want to have that. So, also when we're travelling, we won't have these up. We'll shut them down. The tap will go into that position and will shut down. You do have two additional little lights above. We've got storage. Make sure they click home, otherwise stuff will burst open as you drive. So we're happy on there. That means if I wanted to light the oven, the boiler or the fridge, I should have no problems. Okay, so the fridge, which is right here, we've got on electric at the moment, so if I turn it to the 12 o'clock position, that's off.
Yeah.
The plug is electric, 230. When we're driving, if I turn that to 12 volt, the engine battery will maintain the cold that we have in the fridge. It won't take it down to freezing off of 12 volts, it just maintains the cold. For gas, I turn that to the 6 o'clock position, and that pinger starts. So if I press the thermostat in, when the light stops flashing, 3, 2, 1, release, you've got to give it time to set. So when I release, the pinger should stop. Turn the thermostat right up. There we go. So now the fridge is operating on gas.
Because the light's off.
The light's gone off. As soon as I turn this off, it cuts the gas and turns everything off anyway. And then I can just turn it back to some other setting. This is a thermostat, maximum cold and down, but to ignite the gas we have to press in on this. So I turn through to the flame again, press in and hold. 3, 2, 1, release. Obviously it's longer than 3, 2, 1. Let's give it 5 seconds.
So this is only, you only have the gas on when you're stopped anyway?
Yeah. You turn the gas off at the tap.
This is when we're wild, isn't it?
Yep.
So when you're driving along, you have it on the battery.
Yep. To maintain the cold you've got.
Just keep it what it is. It'll just maintain that temperature you have in there already.
And there's a little latch on the top here. So when we close, swing the latch across, in on for half an hour or so. It's already nice and cold.
Right.
Shut and click. And when you're not using it, basically you could just leave it. But if you're driving, that's going to swing open.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's just a vegetable tray at the bottom there. It's not collecting water or anything, is that? That blue thing in there.
Yes, veg.
Yeah.
Okay, these are service points to turn the gas off to the hob, the fridge, the boiler and the cooker. So don't worry about them. If I wanted the service engineer to do things and isolate, these are the isolation points.
I see. So we won't be interested.
Just turn them on and off at the bottle, yeah. We've got an oven down here.
There's a grill in there then?
No, it's just an oven.
Oh, it's one of
Yeah, it's like a cooking thing. Yeah, right in. So there's your
right
at the
gas is the back.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So if you've got one of those wand
That's the
things
ideal,
rather than a match, then you're not too close to it. And there's your cutlery drawer, as clean as can be. 3-pin sockets will only work when we're on electric.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, If we come round into the dining area there, both of you go through.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, I see you're going that way.
Yep. That is my electric immersion. Off, on. It doesn't actually illuminate, but that's hot water on electric. This is the controls for the gas heating.
On electric, we've got the
Because we're plugged in
We're
now,
plugged
aren't
in.
Yep, so I had it on there.
we? What about the solar panel? Would we still
No.
use it or not?
Solar panel is
Hot
not
water.
going to do this,
No.
No, right,
No.
okay.
hot water
Solar's 12 volts.
on electric.
Electric, that
So
one.
we're, yeah, okay.
Okay, it's off, it's on, it's off. This is the gas setting. It's got a thermostat on it, so we can turn that around. But the top two settings, the 3 o'clock position is off. There's a little pointer pointing to
Yeah.
O. If I turn it to 40, a green light will come on. Or 60, there's a green light in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's heating water to on gas to 60 or 40 degrees. Summer settings, basically, just hot water on gas and off. This one, there's a little flame symbol. Again, the light will come on, but I've got a thermostat on here, so I can turn it up or down. And the vents that are around, we've got little
Yeah, little
vents in the washroom,
under the
sofa area down there. That is where the blown air is coming through.
Okay.
The one below it has got that flame symbol and 60 degrees. So it does 2 jobs, one at a time. The first one is if I turn the thermostat right down, the heat energy is used just to heat the water.
Yeah.
And I did that earlier. So if we run the tap, I've got an airlock where I flipped the thing earlier. So
Yeah.
come on through. That's better. Right. Yow.
We've got heat,
You probably see, so we've got nice piping hot water coming through there. So once we've done that, we could then bring the thermostat into play and give it a while, but the heat energy that we've generated in the boiler will then be dispensing hot air through there. So I'm going to leave that on, and then we'll just have that coming through as we go around the rest of the vehicle.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the boiler itself lives in here. The cupboard underneath the wardrobe. So, boiler tank holds 10 litres of hot water. And every time we draw water off, we're introducing cold water. So if we've got the thermostat, we've got the heating on, we're fine. This is the automatic dump valve, or if I push down on it, I can manually drain the water out of there.
Okay.
So that will drain if it gets very cold, you're not in the vehicle, it'll drop it. If the battery was disconnected, the leisure battery, it would automatically drop the water as well. So it's a protection system to protect what would be about £1,200 worth of boiler, so we don't want that bursting. Okay?
Okay.
Don't store anything else in underneath here, but that's where it lives. And the wardrobe above with a hanging rail means that if we've got clothes in here, we can keep them warm.
Yeah.
These are sort of booster cushion things for the driving and passenger seats if you need.
Right.
These other bolsters are if we're making up a bed zone in the centre there are lots of fill-in cushion bits and bobs that you can use. And there's also a centre fillet that if you pull the table, separate it, you can slot that in and make a bigger table there. Behind we've got circuit breakers for the electrics, so if the electrics trip out,
Yeah.
there's the tester, you can reset on there. And we've got charger, lights and fridge and PowerPoint sockets on there, so if one or either of those trip out, then if you've overloaded, put too many things on the 3-pin sockets, you might trip out your PowerPoints. and when the door closes, the light goes off. Okay, so that just sort of wedges in there. And again, it'll be about packing stuff to make sure that things don't clatter about.
Too much,
If you need to sit on those up front, then obviously you can.
That's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
And then just rotate the latch. Obviously the cushion can't go quite there. There we go. In your washroom, you can lock yourself in, but someone could open it if you were trapped. There is a step, so be careful. Obviously, if we're running the shower, we don't want it breaching, so there's a drain away there. Light switch is in the corner. The pedestal, the head of the toilet rotates. Looks like a conventional loo. On the side of it is this lever that opens and closes for the waste. Okay, grey lever there. So there's a blue button. Press, which is the flush, and then you open and close.
Right.
All right.
Right. Yeah.
Cupboards. Right above, if we rotate this, if it's been a bit steamy, then you can air that. Wind it down just until it's finger tight, no more. The shower head, we can take this off, leave it on the floor with the tap open when we're fully draining it down, so it can vent out from there. And then these partitions release the catches, and then you swing them across on the other side to make yourself a little sort of wet room. Not very pleasant.
Is it best not to wait for the light to come on then?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So there's no.
Well, it could take weeks to fill up, so.
But there's no gauge to say it's nearly full.
No, it's only full.
Right.
Only full on there. Okay.
There's a plug there. It says 2 plugs. Two drains.
I think one's
That's
in
good.
here, isn't it? Yeah.
That's good.
Just one there, one there, depending on the level you're at as well. But if you leave them open, if there's any water in there when you're driving, it will find its way out.
Again, you wouldn't know if that's washing machineable, would you? That mat?
It's a rubber thing. You can buy this off the roll. You can just wash it. It's just a non-slip
shop,
thing.
would you, that sort of stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah. So just make sure everything is closed. Shut the lights off as we go. I'm now going to turn the heating off, but give you an idea of how efficient it is.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Tremendous.
Okay, so a little bit of storage in underneath here. All the overhead lockers have got corresponding little ones underneath. So we'll just snap everything home all the way round. In here would have been the
cupboard.
Cereal
cupboard.
Yeah, absolutely. It's where a TV thing would have sat. You've got.
Has it got the wire in there? Has it?
Yeah, a 3-pin, a 12 volt, and actually no, it's not a 12 volt. The top one. 12 volt will be in the bottom one, I expect. Yeah. Now that's a European 12 volt socket. It's smaller than the.
I see. Than the
UK
cigarette
one.
lighter type.
Yeah, so what you'll need to buy is an adapter with a male point with a cable and the female UK size, like that cigarette lighted one on there, and you can buy those from camping caravan shops
Or
as well.
TV when we're abroad.
Yeah, if we want.
Yep.
Yeah, if we want.
That would have been a TV plate, sat on there, slid in and out. I've also used these, seen these used now for microwaves as well.
All right, yeah.
But obviously they'll only work on electric.
Yeah.
So everything lightweight stuff above, like on an aeroplane.
Yeah.
For storage below, it's a case of flipping up and accessing in underneath.
Right.
If we're going to make the bed, then we're basically going to pull these sections out all the way across, and then move our cushions and things across as well on there. Swap them back. Only these seats are travel seats. The others are not secure.
Yeah.
But what is the rule on that one? Because I thought it was under 12s have got to have belts on. Over 12s can sit over there. No.
Well, there is a grey area because after October 2007, definitely no one travels in the vehicle. This is 2005, so at risk an adult could travel in here.
Yeah.
You'd have to weigh that up. I wouldn't trust that for Europe though.
No.
Especially the French. They'll make something up to make sure. No disrespect for the French, they just do. On the side here, this one lifts up, and the idea is that sits onto the top there. So you've got a little side table thing there. It also sort of extends out for your tea and coffee perhaps, and you can access in underneath. Now under here, if we strap that back, undo the poppers. It is warm now.
More storage, yeah.
That's a nice coat, that, isn't it?
Yes, it's not waterproof though.
No.
I need to work with my own. Right. I'm just going to flip this off. I'm not going to pull the poppers up for here, but if we're travelling with passengers, we need to take this panel out so that these legs can go down onto the floor there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Underneath here, I'll just flip this up.
Right. Is this access to the
That's
water?
access to the floor underneath.
right.
So we've
Okay.
got that storage area underneath. Okay. There's the wheel arch, which is insulated. The ducting is for all the heating going round, and this is the frame for the seat belts.
Okay.
Okay.
I was expecting then to see something. The water tank.
I don't think there's an access point to the
Is there a way
water.
of cleaning? Because
You pour it in through
My
the
brother-in-law-
side. Tank
yeah.
cleaner in.
clean. Oh, do you? You can't clean them. You can't clean
Can,
them.
yeah, pour tank cleaner in, take
Yeah.
it for a drive so it swirls around and empty it out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a underfloor section for access into the grey water tank. So if I lift it up, so that's the grey water tank which
Right.
is underneath, and you could pour a tank cleaner into there, but I wouldn't be wanting to do that really. I'd want to pour that down the sinks to make sure it found its way down and cleaned the system as it goes into there.
Oh, I see. You'd put the cleaner through the sink
Yeah, down the
rather
sinks
than
and the
getting,
showers.
Yeah, Otherwise, you're not getting the.
You're not
yeah,
cleaning
yeah,
it all
I
out.
see. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's cool.
So this little chap, we're going to sit back on the edge here. Fits in snugly. Put all our cushions back. No, that's the right one. That one goes there. That one goes in the corner. Hopper goes to there. This one.
Oh dear.
That's
Thank you.
click in. Click in.
That's your cold.
Oh,
No, I'm way over. It's a European Spanish cold anyway. It's,
Oh, is it?
They-
Right,
they hang
I
on.
won't get that. Then.
Yeah.
All right.
teach me to.
Well,
Yeah.
that part of.
Yeah, no, going to do all of that. Now, curtains, the nets we can pull across for a bit of privacy, but for night time, we've got two options. The night one comes up and connects. If we do it the other way around, we can bring the fly screen down and connect them in together. So up and release.
Ah, that's neat, isn't it?
Release the top two, and if you're in control of these, don't just let them go. Same on here. If you keep letting them go, ultimately, very shortly, the springs will go. To open this, push in the red button, slide it round, the track releases, and we push out, and it goes to a click. You push beyond, and then come smoothly back in, press the red button, and lock it off again. Okay? So press, slide out. You can go higher if you want.
Blimey, they do, don't they?
All the way back, press and slide in. Release the top two slightly. and drop down on there. Above us, the night screen comes across and back. The fly screen is slightly sprung, so just make sure that it engages and then hand it back. To open this, it's a bit like an old car type one. And then if we can clean the areas when it's needing to be cleaned, wind it down just as it starts to tighten up, go no further and tuck away in on there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Brilliant.
This table we can, if we undo the
This is secured to the floor now, is it?
Yeah, you can take the whole thing up, obviously, unscrew there, you can take the whole thing out.
Fold that down as well, can we?
Sorry?
Can we fold it down? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm just trying to separate the top here, so I need to unscrew this, and then I can put that table extension in there.
Yeah.
I need to tighten it up again, otherwise when you're driving you'll find that that is sliding backwards and forwards all the time.
Is that now secured to the floor? Yes, they've secured
down
it
through
now,
there.
haven't they? You secured it, yeah, okay.
But if you find you don't want it, you can unbolt it and take it out.
Yeah.
Okay, right. We're going to do the dashboard at the end, but underneath the driver's seat is the the leisure battery, and underneath the passenger seat is the electroblock, which is the charger unit. It's accessible from the front, but really it's a service point on there. But there are fuses.
Okay.
Okay, just come through here. The chair you've got on the front corner is this lever, which is on the off side on this one.
Yeah.
So it's either pull back and swing inwards, but you might need to obviously rotate the seat around so you can get it to fit, and then go back a bit so it can come round or whatever to get around the steering wheel. So it's a bit of a work of art, but there we go. And then shimmy around and we can all sit around the table.
Yeah.
The seat belts are attached to the seat, so no matter where you go.
That's brilliant. You can see Eric's the way it came from the floor.
So it's always there, it's not hanging up on the thing, they're in the right position. Swing round, just get it right and lock off. Same on this one, pull the lever backwards, I think it is. Forward on this one, and swing inwards and round we come.
Okay.
You've also got levers here which allow you to adjust your backrest, moving your body weight and releasing it, and there is a little pump which inflates air bladder inside to firm up the seat, and there's a little button
To
you can
release
press to let the air out again.
Right.
Alright,
Okay,
the armrests come down and the roller wheel adjusts how low or high they come down.
Okay.
So right down, depends if you like them when you're driving.
Yeah.
Wrists can go up and down a bit, but adjust on there. Swing back round. Actually, you've got another toolkit in here, so someone didn't really look. There's another one
I found that.
which is tucked in underneath there, so you've actually got two. Let's put the panel back on the front here. Lockable glove box. The stereo fascia comes off. There's a button on the corner there which you can take off and store in there if you want. That tells you something about that reversing monitor. And it does have a little remote for it.
All right.
And you think, well, why would you need that? It's not always as a reversing camera, it's a monitor, so it could be a CCTV thing. I'll show you that when the engine is running.
Okay.
But you can manually operate it on here, or you can do it on here. Depends how they've wired it up, whether it has a live feed on all times.
Okay.
Oops. Okay, the bed, what we need to do here is basically bring the seat as far forward as we can go, and then I think we need to tilt the seats back a bit. There's the lever. So we disengage the seat belt.
The headrests are going to...
Fold the mirror up a bit. I think it just clears if we do that with it. So as it comes through, it just slides ahead. The table needs to come back a little bit further, but I keep pushing down. It brings the curtains down with it. We've got curtains to come across, got a light switch up on the top there, and underneath here I've put the ladder, which would hook onto there.
I saw a ladder underneath.
It was in the wardrobe, and it was bang, bang, bang all the time. You could lie it on the top, but they tend to find their way down to the front. Then you find there's a leg poking through the curtain above you.
Right.
And then this, if I take this out and connect it up to the top, the idea is to stop you from rolling out of bed.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to see if this table will move then.
Well, we'll have to. We might have to. Maybe we can turn it round because look, it's got a fixing on the floor there. We could have it round the other way, maybe. See what I mean? So we turn it round this way, so the square edge is this end. Maybe that would help. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's
so
good.
Now that should clear all the way down.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant. We didn't have it like that before. We had to
flip over if you need.
We had the headrest off.
Yeah. That's what a pain it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
This top one here, just like the one in the washroom, just rotate up. Okay.
Yes.
There's a fly screen built in, so the bugs won't come in.
What about the rain?
Make sure that is closed when you're travelling, or if it's raining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You twist.
Oh, it is a twist, right?
Right. It could have been. I was going to say the
no.
other one we nearly had. Yeah. I was going to say you have to be able to get to it.
Okay. Then just tuck these away as we bring it up. The curtains will come up with it, and then just support it so that clicks home.
Yeah.
There'll be a little bit of movement as you drive, but not too bad. But there'd be a lot of movement if you didn't tuck that away.
Yeah. Okay.
I spotted that light's not on there, guy, under there. So they're manual.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay, they only operate off of the 12-volt system.
Okay.
All of them we can turn off individually. Now, these are halogen lights.
Yes.
Okay, when they pop, you can change them for LEDs.
Which I probably would do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're very hot.
Yeah.
You can actually heat the van if you've got your lighting on, so just be careful. Don't touch them afterwards. Buy the equivalent LEDs. Very low power draw, very low heat, very long life.
Yeah.
So they're a good thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Can I go back one little step to electrics again? Mm-hmm. When you were talking about, now we've got the solar panel on.
Yeah.
Is there anything to talk about
no,
as regards that?
So that is your regulator, if you will, and that is just basically flashing to say we've got light coming on board.
So it's doing something at the moment.
I'm not sure what that little chap is on there. So yeah, we've got light coming in, and then we can check the battery level off of our needle on the gauge.
Oh, I see. So if we were out in the wilds,
what you want is
we would know if it was charging. We'd know if it was doing something.
So the top one with the battery at the front of the vehicle, engine battery.
Yeah.
So we're
Bottom
around
one,
there.
Yeah.
Leisure batteries on there, and they're looking around about 14. Is that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If they're round about 12, then we have a problem there. So we might find that if you didn't have a leisure battery, if you didn't have a solar panel, you could, just leaving it on, all the lights on, and using the energy off of the 12 volt, you would drain it down. The idea is you might find that fluctuating a little bit depending on how much you're pulling out of it.
So there's no way of telling if the solar panel is putting that on there, but as long as it doesn't
exactly.
drop. Okay.
If there's nothing on there, then we are a bit worried.
Yeah. So I don't have to switch
anything. We're a bit worried as well.
Yeah. So there's nothing I have to switch off or on.
No, it just does its own
It's
thing.
automatically on all the time.
Yeah, if you're under a Mediterranean sun all the time, then it cuts off. Obviously, we don't want to cook the thing, so it does have a trip out.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
For that.
Fabulous.
Okay. So,
yeah. Fantastic.
So before we drive away, we'll do a walk around. We'll check that's closed. That's closed. The one in the washroom is closed.
Yes.
Windows. The back windows. They're clicker ones that go out as well. The blinds operate the same way, and we'll bring that cover down when we're travelling, so you don't hear a sudden bang as it does drop down.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So if we wanted to shut everything down in one hit, I would just do that. And that shuts the lot down, apart from this light, which allows me access in and out at night. And the switch for it was there.
Yeah.
But that light would stay on.
Because we're on
Yeah,
hookup.
because we're on hookup. Yeah.
And that means, even if I haven't powered up the system, if I leave the fridge on, or if I left the hot water on, I could, as long as I've got water in the boiler, have hot water before I've even set off. And then when you're driving, the boiler will stay hot if you're not drawing water out of it. So when you arrive, effectively, you're already, you know, got some hot water on board.
Yeah. We're not. It's very unlikely, apart from when we're on campsites, that we'll be able to hook up. So, right. So.
Okay.
So when you switch that off in its entirety.
This one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So turn it on. Other way. There you go. Any lights we've left on will come on at this point.
Yeah.
So we might want to individually turn them all down. Those overheads are from the switches that you've got.
But if we did that, Guy, and we weren't on mains,
The
then
lights will still come on.
all the fridge and everything, if we switch it off, everything's off.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yes.
Including fridge, everything.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure why those ones are staying on.
Um,
Oh, it's the other way around then.
so those are those.
Back to
That's
front.
that one.
Yeah, that one's back to front, that's why.
Yeah, so that's just a blank.
Yeah.
Could have had a 3-pin or a 12 in it as an option.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the seats, just swing the levers back up again. The idea is by moving your body weight and releasing,
Yes, it's easier
that's
then.
where the backrest will adjust to. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
At night, you've got these little poppers to release. And then we slide the blind along slowly and carefully and noisily. And then drop this one on this side. And that's the night screen on this side. We'll do the same on that side. And then the front ones, you slide
Cozy, isn't it?
slowly and easily up
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
And then everything is just carefully and slowly.
Will it go half and half, or does it need to go up or down?
Yeah. So,
it will.
yeah.
Your driving visors come down and you can just adjust them accordingly on there. The rear view mirror, well, you can see a little bit at the back there, but you might need to, I folded that away, so if we had anything on the top it doesn't catch as you come down. So
Does that help with condensation at all, or are we going to find I've been reading about these silver screen things.
yeah, silver screens work okay. Obviously you need some ventilation because you will get condensation otherwise.
So if we vent it, if there's a bit of ventilation going on, we're not going to likely get so much.
Exactly. I mean, you will get condensation on a big glass area. You know, going back to double glazing.
Yeah.
So you know, you're warm in here. You'll get an interface where you'll get condensation on there.
Yeah.
You might want to use something like something on a stick, a sponge, just to wipe down it if it is particularly bad.
Like a shower one, actually. It's good.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, you want a spongy one, wouldn't you?
Well, no, that
Well, no, otherwise the water would all get down on the...
towel anyway, if you want me, we're going to put towel down.
Fall down behind the blind.
Okay. On this side, you've got a bit of storage in underneath, rods and ends. Not much of a cup holder there. Sort of one there. Sort of one on the other side. So just be a wee bit careful on those. Electric windows only on this side. To open this window,
oh, he's replaced this basically. You said in
catch here, then press, and that slides.
Yeah.
Slide it back, and then push that in, and that stops anyone breaking in from outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So what we'll do now is undo the hookup cable, turn the gas off at the bottle, and then we'll do the driving side on here, which you have done already.
We've had a test drive,
okay.
yeah.
You're familiar with automatics, I take it. So right foot only, unless you're happy with left foot braking. And it has a drive function, which you'll see on the dashboard, what gear position you're in. But if you move the lever crossways, you've got plus and minus, which means you can sequentially manually change gear.
Oh, can you?
So if you wonder why you're stuck in a gear, I'll show you when the engine is running.
Brilliant.
You've got that feature
so
as well.
The option of using it as a manual.
Yeah, so if you have accidentally knocked it across and wonder why it's not changing gear, you just sneak it back into D.
I gotcha, right. Okay.
All right.
Yes, I think so, yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so
looks good so far.
One of us is going to get wet. It'll definitely be me.
Yeah.
So up we go.
Oh, I don't need to.
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
we're just going to turn the gas off and undo the hookup cable. So with the hook, pull the cap back and pull down. So it's a 3-pin.
Yeah.
It fits onto there. The cap needs to be up there.
So it locks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just push that away, click that home, or you'll see it flapping in your view. Okay, so this is the one that's open.
Yeah.
So clockwise
To close.
is closed. It's about 4 full turns.
That's closed, isn't it?
And that one's
already
closed already. Yeah. So to open it, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I always come a little bit back so I know which way I'm going.
Oh yeah.
The reason for that is if you open it fully and like really tight, someone might come along and say, "Oh, could you turn the gas off?" And it is.
Yeah.
It isn't. Right. Just be aware that this carpet is loose. There is no way of attaching it, so you can take it out and cleaning. But if you leap in and out, it won't stick. We've tried it.
Yeah, okay.
Just be careful.
I'll put a bit of Velcro on that or something.
It doesn't really stick, but anyway, you could try. So if you hop aboard, I'll come in round the back, and then we'll just do the dashboard area. This is a bit old hat, where you would clip a map onto it. Yeah, just bend it at the back first, so it sits down.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've powered down, we've turned the gas off, we've undone the hookup cable. So if the steering lock is on, when you put the key in, just turn the wheel and the key gently. Okay? So when I turn the ignition on, just next to the clock here, we'll see the coiled, like a spring thing, which is the pre-warmer on the igniter. It's on, it's off, so I can start. The camera comes on straight away. Now I can turn that off and on. I think there's only one camera on this. I don't think there's 2. No. Some of them you get AV1 and AV2.
Right.
You can go into menu and you can adjust the brightness up or down, the contrast, the colour, saturation, blah blah blah. Language, well, we don't need to worry about that. And just leave it and it will go back to normal.
Right, okay. And that's spread across the rear of it.
Yeah,
that's the
you
full width.
You could adjust the camera a bit. Yeah, you need to work out how close that bottom edge is in there. So this is just a guide, an assistant.
Yeah.
If you're actually parking and manoeuvring, it's important that the mirrors are set up correctly so we can see, and if someone's behind we can see them calling and stopping you back. All right, so that's just a help. It also means while you're driving you can see what's going on behind you.
That's right.
You can't really see out through there.
You probably wouldn't be able to see much because it's so low, isn't it? But that is quite a low setting, isn't it? So it must be quite angled right down.
Yeah, you could undo the grub screws either end and angle it a little bit if you want. This thing here, which is the remote, which hasn't been used yet, so if I pull that tag, I'd be able to turn this on and off from here if I wanted. It's got the same features on there, but as I say, it's just part and parcel of the kit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Being a Sony, it's blooming annoying. It does this pretty much all the time. So if you do that, you won't see it. Obviously, to turn it on, we'll put it on. We'll press the source button, come up as tuner. Volume up and down is on there. The other one is for tuning, if we can get a signal. We're right next to our camera pole here, but that's radio 3. So if I press and hold 3, that's how you would save it. Set it off again. Oops. Press and hold. If you want to do just small movements to tune into something, so 92.9 is radio 4. That's 5, isn't it? Oh well, let's put it on 4. There you go. You've also got other wavelengths, if I can find it, so you can adjust all your bass and treble and things on there. Which is the changing the...
It took 5 very bumpy hours in the car to get.
There's a seek on there as well. Oh, there you go. So FM2, FM3, medium wave. So I could set that off. 693 is Radio 5 live. It's whether or not you can get a signal or not. Press again and we're long wave. Press again, we're back to where we were. Okay, turn the whole thing off. Press and hold. Or no, I did see off. There you go, and that shuts it off.
Smashing. Yeah.
Okay, so heated wing mirrors. The lights are side lights and headlights. Green light comes on, high beam is forward and flashes towards you. Okay. So we've got front and rear fog lights on there as well if we need.
Right. Okay.
Hazard warning lights.
Yeah.
And a blank.
Right. You say that's mirrors?
Yes.
Heated mirrors. Oh, right. Okay.
It helps clear them.
Yeah.
Fan speed, temperature, where the air is being distributed, so if it is a bit steamed up, go to max on the windscreen.
Yeah. Fresh
air, recirculated air, and air conditioning. And air con is dry air, so that should help to steam, clear steam. You can have cold air con, you can have very hot air con as well. Run it frequently just to make sure it's operating.
Yeah.
And 2 power sockets, as we saw.
Oh yeah, 2 power sockets, right. Yep.
Wipers, flick up is 1 wipe, pull towards you is wash wipe. There's a few and then stops. And then we've got intermittent, 1 and 2 speeds, all on there. Horn, centre. Okay,
brilliant.
The handbrake is on, so the light is on, so we release it fully down, off. Engine temperature, kilometres and speedo, rev counter and fuel.
Right.
So the clock, the gear and the mileage. Press and hold that to move the clock forward. If I press there, 19.4, press and hold, that will reset my trip.
Yeah.
And I can go back to the mileage on there.
Right.
So for gears, foot on the brake, come down, press it, there's a trigger behind. So R is reverse and you'll get a beeper. Neutral and drive. If I come across, I'm into first gear and then I go sequentially 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. And
right.
D is drive automatic. At the traffic lights, snick it into neutral. For reverse, you must pull the trigger in. You don't want to accidentally go into reverse. And for park, you must be in park to secure the vehicle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Close and open the vents as we go round. Direct them in and around. These little pickups would have been when the alarm was on. It's a movement sensor, so if it's reinstated, everything would have to be checked out first.
Yeah.
And I think that's your little aerial on the side for the radio.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying to you earlier, I didn't spot that first.
No.
Okay.
Can't
Oh,
decide
brilliant.
what that view is through the window, but you'd recognise what it is.
There's some bushes behind, I think, isn't there?
But I
Yeah,
just
we've got the
can't
bushes
make
right
out.
behind, and
It's a funny colour, because they're green, these bushes.
oh
Oh, and there's that sign, yeah. Yeah, I see.
You
yeah.
might need to
Yeah,
change.
give it a tweak or something.
Yeah, if we go
Yeah.
to their
That's why I was trying to
brightness,
decide what it was.
contrast, saturation. Is there a colour one? Mode, rotate, reset.
And it looks like that mirror got moved when the bed came down, doesn't it? But do you think
That
the
one?
sat-nav
I moved
I'm not
that.
even going to
You
bother
moved
with
it.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Deliberately when we came
Yeah.
to put the bed down.
It's unlikely we use that, is it?
Well, yeah.
Just sort of tuck it away. Just make sure it doesn't catch anything
No.
as you come down. So as it's coming, anything you've got on the top, it cleared there, but
Definitely
just
cleared
need to
that,
be
doesn't it?
careful.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that is useful if you've got
gonna
kids
say,
to
I-
make sure they're in their seat belts, if lockers have opened
I'd
and what
still
have
like
you.
to be able to see that back, out the back window then.
Yeah,
so-
a bit. I
Yeah, would it, you could?
don't.
I can see everything now.
Can you?
Side window, back window, and all the rest. So yeah, it's important that they're set up. It's a manual setup for it, so you'll have to
Yeah, so
get
you
someone
can't-
outside. That needs to come in a bit, to my mind. But
Yeah.
you get yourself set up where you want to be
Yeah.
and everything. So there we go.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
CD player as well, so that's good.
It's got a CD in the top with an eject button on there as well.